Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We'll continue our debates back on schedule. So we'll proceed with the School of IT now. First of all, I would like to invite the candidates from School of IT, Ko Sheng Jae and Diana, to please come and take their place on the stage. Please take the further table. Next, I'd like to invite the OBs from School of IT, Kaiwei and Yin Cheng, to please come and take their place on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll proceed with the debate. Before we begin, I'd like to inform you of the format for the debate. First, we'll begin by an intro by the Election Commission, which is currently ongoing. Secondly, we'll proceed to opening statements by the candidates. Then we'll move to Q&A by the OB, then Q&A by the audience, and then we'll proceed to closing statements by the candidates and closing statements by the EC. So without further ado, we can proceed to the opening statements by the candidates.
Hello, testing. Hi everyone, my name is Sheng Jie. I'm currently a year 2 semester 1 student majoring in data science.
And my name is Diana, also a year 2 semester 1 student majoring in advanced computer science. Today, we're excited to be here to present our candidacy for male and female representatives for the School of IT. Our focus revolves around the key pillars mentioned in our manifesto: collaborative community, support, career awareness, and lastly, open communication. We are confident in our abilities to run for the School of IT representatives, mainly because we already have prior experience in previous clubs. For me, I'm currently a member of the club committee for 3 clubs in Monash, including Monash Music Club, Book Club, and also Toastmasters Club. Through these involvements, I managed to work with my team closely and managed to organize multiple successful events, whether if it's big or small.
Well, for me, I had experience serving as the vice president and also the secretary in multiple clubs in my secondary school. These experiences have allowed me to develop my leadership skills, foster effective communication among committee members, students, and also the staff, and also contribute to the overall well-being of my school community. These are something that we would like to bring over to SOIT.
So, our objective is clear. We want to help all the students in the School of IT to grow and succeed. Having personally experienced the hardmanship of studying IT in Monash, we understand the steep learning curve that all students will have to go through in their journey learning IT in Monash. So, we are here to lend a helping hand.
Hence, we plan to organize events that will help students both in educational aspects and also in their personal growth. Apart from that, we believe that it is pivotal to build a strong connection with peers in university. Therefore, we will hold events such as Hello Coders and also Freshman Connect, in which we aim to connect new students to mentors that could lead and guide them through the first few weeks of the semester. This will empower students not only to cultivate meaningful connections in university. This also allows new students to find companions who can offer mutual support, especially during challenging academic moments. Events such as the Monash Coding League will also be held. This will allow students to flex their coding skills, allowing them to apply what they have learned in class and stand a chance to bring home lucrative prizes.
We would also like to emphasize the importance of career awareness, especially in the field of IT. So we plan to conduct more career-related events such as career fairs and also industrial visits. By organizing these events, we're allowing students to connect with professionals, and by doing this, we're allowing the students to explore a wider range of career opportunities and have a clearer understanding of the field IT itself. Our main aim through these events is to help the students equip them with the connections and knowledge needed for them to succeed in their future careers. Finally, as mentioned in our manifesto, we would like to highlight the importance of open communication. So in terms of communication with the staff, students, and also within the subcommittee team, we wish to maintain a clear and transparent communication so that everyone is able to voice out their concerns and opinions anytime comfortably. This sums up our opening statement. Thank you.
All right, thank you, candidates. Now we'll proceed to Q&A from the OBs.
Hello, testing. All right, so knowing that we have two tech clubs under us, namely GDSC and MUMTech, how do you envision building a strong relationship with them? And how would you ensure seamless collaboration, equal distribution of tasks, and likewise proceed to the same objective for an event?
Okay, so thank you for the question. We know that currently the School of IT is already having a close connection with both GDSC and MUMTech, right? So obviously we want to maintain this kind of connection. And how we're gonna be doing like the distribution of work properly is that we can plan out all the events beforehand so that we have time to prepare, and we can also plan meetings with them and maintain a healthy relationship with the clubs GDSC and MUMTech. By holding these meetings, we will be able to distribute the task transparently and make sure that everyone agree with the task distributed.
All right, thank you for your answer. So for the second one, as you all know, the workload of SOIT is quite big, and as second-year students yourself, and during the next year of second semester, you guys will be going into your third years and final year project. How do you plan to manage your academic responsibilities alongside your committee duties? How will you prevent potential burnout, considering the impact it could have on the entire team if you burn out?
Okay, so thank you for the question. That was a good one. Right, so to be honest, coming from SOIT and feeling the workload of it myself, I think it will be the biggest challenge for us to balance between our academic roles and also representative roles. Because, you know, like sometimes as SOIT students, we will even face scenarios where we will have 4 assignments due on the same day itself. So yeah, in order to prevent like burnout and stuff, my main strategy will be to plan everything that we are planning to do as a representative beforehand, so that we could get a glimpse of what time will be allocated for each event in the future, and thus we are able to work around that smartly. And apart from that, it is also important for us to like prioritize our tasks at the current moment. So yeah, I think this is all. Anything to add?
Okay, yeah, to add on to what Seung just said, yeah, we will be planning ahead, as I mentioned already, like all the events that we will be holding during the break or after, so that we kind of have an overview of the amount of workload that we will be having throughout the semester. But through this planning, we're also not 100% sure that the events will go by the plan, right? Because there are times that the timeline for the event that we plan out may not suit the students' need, because they may have a lot of assignment due on the day of the event or anything. So just by having a backbone of what the event will be about, we kind of have an idea of what we will be doing in the future, so that we can plan out and also distribute the work to our subcommittee properly, and make sure that our subcommittee is comfortable in the work that we distributed to them, and everyone can work in the most efficient way possible.
All right, so thank you so much for the answers. And to add on to Kaiwei's questions, so how do you plan to actually keep your committee engaged and active in the events and meetings? And if someone from the committee can't keep up because of their studies, given the heavy workload, how would you handle that? Because on one hand, you need their helps for events, but on the other hand, you also get where they're coming from.
Okay, so as IT students, we understand the amount of workload that our committees will have, and we fully understand if they are unable to do the work. So our approach would be distributing out the work in advance around quite early, so like around 1 or 2 weeks before it's needed, to make sure that all the committees are comfortable with what we assign them. If they are not, they are of course allowed to say their opinion, and we can mitigate through their opinion. By their opinions, we are also able to make sure that the things that we distribute to them are either done by another club committee who volunteers, or we can also take the initiative to do it. We will obviously look at their point of view very much to make sure that they are not burnt out and that they feel comfortable working in the team. Anything?
Yeah. So to add on to Diana's point, to prevent like our committees from getting burned out from all the workload that they have to face, we will try our best to like navigate and work around maybe like especially in task allocation. So if in a scenario where they are unable to cope with the situation, we will like negotiate with all of our other committee members to like delegate our tasks more fairly, in a sense. Yeah, but in the same thing as well, we can't like remove all the tasks from the affected committee because it will be unfair for us to do that. So we will try our best to reduce their tasks and delegate it fairly among our other team members. Yeah, that's all.
So to add on again, so to keep a clear communication within the team, we also plan to have multiple meetings throughout our term so that all the committees are well informed of the things that are happening. So by the start of the term, we can start by telling them like an overview of the events that we are planning to organize so that they have an idea of what they will be facing in the semester. And by those multiple meetings that we hold with them, we will also be able to maintain a clean and healthy relationship with them so that they are comfortable enough to voice out their opinions and concerns anytime.
All right, thank you. I think that's a very good plan from your side. So for the last question, reflecting on the various events that has been hosted this year or in the past, could you provide insight into any upcoming plans or events where student interests and benefits are prioritized, which you plan to have, and why do you think those events will benefit the students in any way?
All right, so thank you for the question. So in the upcoming months, we'll plan to have an event which is called Hello Coders. So this event will be specifically designed to help newcomers to IT, because we understand that as a freshie coming into SOIT in Monash, there will be a lot of uncertainties for them, as maybe coding will be something totally new to them, and also the workload will be something new to them. So this event will help them in a sense where we will kind of guide them through the first few weeks of university through a mentor. And then if they have any questions whatsoever, they could go and approach the mentor to ask them for advice on what to do. And so, yeah. Do you want?
Of course, Hello Coders is not the only event that we wish to host in our term. There are also many other events that is either career related or more towards helping students' need. So events we can continue includes Monash Coding League, where students are allowed to show their skills and knowledge on coding through this coding event. Then there are also career-related events that we plan to organize, such as career fairs and industrial trips. Through these events, we're also allowing the students to connect with more people and even professionals. By doing this, we're giving them a lot of opportunities to to have more connections and also to learn.
So to summarize everything that we have said, these events will help the students both in their personal growth and also in their academics. Yeah, that's all from us.
All right, thank you, OBs, for the cross questioning. Now we'll proceed to questions from the audience. Can I request you to please come down and ask your question on the mic?
Hey guys, all right. So in your election guide, you talk a little bit about finding middle ground between staff and students when there's issues with staff and students. However, since you're representatives elected by the students, should you not be putting student needs first? Why is middle ground your priority when student needs should be the priority here? In particular, this is referring to your first election guide question.
Okay, so of course for us middle ground is kind of important because it would be quite unfair to the staff if we were just to listen to the student side. But of course we will provide as much support and moral support possible for the students to make sure that the students' voices are heard. And if by maintaining a safe environment for all the students to voice out their opinions comfortably, we can also voice out their concerns to the staff and see and find a plan that will mitigate both sides. So yeah.
So from your that the priority for you is the middle ground, but my advice to you would be that your priority, even though it may be unfair to the staff, is to prioritize student needs because students vote for you, they elect you, so you need to prioritize what they want instead of trying to find middle ground. Is a mic? I think it's all right now. I'll just do my question. All right, so according to the Constitution, could you tell me the roles of the EAC and how do you plan to utilize your position on the EAC for the best interest of the student community?
All right, so thank you for the question. So the EAC is a platform for us school representatives and also the representatives from other schools, and together with the vice president, to both discuss discuss matters regarding school activities. Yeah. So we will use EAC to the best that we can by specifically collecting feedback from our students and then both presenting it to the EAC itself during meetings. Is there anything?
All right, thank you. So my last question is, what is your approach to dealing with plagiarism and other student complaints regarding academic integrity?
All right, so thanks for the question again. So aligning with our manifesto, which is to provide a supportive community, well, our main approach to dealing with student academic integrity issues is to, of course, to support them fully. So we'll brief them through all the necessary procedures in order to resolve the case with a suitable resolution.
So the main thing that we will be doing when facing an academic integrity breach is we will provide full support to the students, and we will obviously let them know the procedures that they have to go through, and we will do the hearing. But we will also ensure transparency between them so that if there's anything that is said, we will tell them transparently and make sure that they understand and go through the procedure fully. So our main point is to provide them with the moral support that they need and make sure that they are well helped and supported.
Do we have any more questions from the audience? If there are no questions from, okay. Can you please come down and ask a question here?
Okay, speaking from experience, new students generally have a lot of questions. And for that, as reps, how will you ensure that you're reachable to the incoming students in a friendly way to not make them nervous?
Okay, so as all IT students here have personally experienced being new in Monash, we have a lot of questions to ask, and we know that it can be very daunting for us to step into a new zone like this. So through the events that we have initially planned, such as Hello Coders, where they are able to find connections through mentors, and they're also able to connect with other new fellow SOIT students, I believe that they will be getting support from them, and the mentors that we decide on will definitely help them too. And if I'm not wrong, we're also planning to host an event called the Freshman Connect, where it's just all the new students. This way, it will also allow them, new students only, to connect with each other and potentially find their good friends there. We also have a Discord server currently, I believe under Kaiway NYC, which people tend to ask questions there, and there are a lot of people that are willing to answer them. So that's our approach to supporting more new students in the future. Do you have anything?
Thank you for the question. Any further questions from the audience? Can I ask you to come down? Thank you so much.
All right, just a simple question. Given that SOIT is very demanding as it is, how would you ensure you give your best performance in the office and represent and highlight the needs of the other students?
Could you repeat your question?
Given that SOIT is very demanding as it is, how would you ensure you give your best performance and represent and highlight the needs of other students?
Mention, we understand the amount of workload will definitely clash. The amount of workload in our course itself will definitely clash with the amount of workload that SOIT rep will give us. So we plan to mitigate this by planning everything ahead, because I believe that both of us are the type of people to do things quite early to make sure that if anything goes wrong, we still have time to fix it. So by having an overview of all the assignments that we will be having, together with the workload as an SOIT rep, we believe that we will be able to manage our time properly and juggle through them and work properly for both our schoolwork and also as an SOIT representative.
Right, great, yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the question. We have one more question.
All right, so you've previously talked about tackling issues between students and staff. I want to know, would you mind elaborating on some strategies that you have to do that? One or more strategies.
Okay, so in terms of tackling issue between students and staffs, since we need to hear the point of view from both the students and staff, our main strategy would be having separate meetings with both sides so that we can gain as much insights as possible. And from there, we will find the middle ground. But as Rashon mentioned earlier, our main priority will be to support the students as best as we can. So through both of these meetings, we will try to find a plan that will satisfy both sides and make sure that both sides are equally benefited.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Any further questions from the audience?
Hello. It's a very simple question. So given that obviously MUSA emphasizes a lot on communication, and a good portion of people have already dealt with the consequences of lack of communication. So I just want to ask, what is communication to you?
All right, so thank you for the question. So in my opinion, communication is to clearly get our points across to the other person. So without effective communication, the other side might not understand or have an idea of what we want to do, and that may cause like unwanted issues in the future. So it is best for us to communicate and to express everything that we want to do in a clear manner so that they will get our point and be on the same page as us.
Yeah, so to add on to what Sanjay said, in terms of communication, we believe that it is one of the key points to succeeding, right? So we plan to keep a very clean and healthy communication with all the other departments within MUSA, within the clubs, the staff, and also with all the students. This way, everyone is able to voice out all their opinions, and we are able to plan ahead from there onwards.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the question. Any further questions from the audience? If there are no more questions, then I'll move to questions online. So we have one question online, and the question is, hosting future initiatives like career development workshops is commendable, but given budgetary constraints and the existence of Monash Career Services, how would your proposed event initiatives differ from existing career service for School of IT students?
Could you please repeat the question again?
Sure. The question is, hosting future initiatives like career development workshops is commendable, but given budgetary constraints and the existence of Monash Career Services, how would your proposed initiatives differ from the existing career services for School of IT students?
Okay, so we understand the budget constraints that we have in MUSA in Monash, Malaysia, but I believe that by working closely with the clubs that we have close connection right now, such as MUMTech and GDSC, we will find a point to create these events with the budget that we are given, and to create more career-related events to help the students as best as we can. So our main point is through collaborations with the clubs the clubs that we have close connection with, and also possibly with other schools.
All right, and to add on to Diana's point, I think with the collaboration that we have and the career events that we are planning to host, I think it will be more targeted towards IT students as compared to the ones being held by Monash Career Services. Yeah, so that will be the differentiating factor between our career-related events and the Monash's one.
Thank you for the answer. If there are no further questions from the audience, we'll proceed to closing statements by the candidates.
Okay, so first of all, thank you everyone for giving us the opportunity to be here today to present our candidacy for the School of IT representatives. Without everyone's support, we would not have been able to stand here today. We wish to have a positive impact in the School of IT in the future, and as representatives, we will help the students as best as we can. Other than that, we will also try our best to provide a better experience for all the students in Monash, in the School of IT in Monash, and including both existing and new students.
In the coming days, weeks, and months, we will work our best to implement changes and improvements that reflects SOIT's needs and aspirations. We pledge to foster an environment where inclusivity and academic excellence flourish. We will work hand in hand with the faculty, staff, and also with fellow students to ensure that the School of IT remains a place where everyone can thrive and reach their full potential. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, candidates and OBs from School of IT. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a 5-minute interval, then we'll be back with debates from School of Social Sciences. Thank you very much.